Okay, so we got Will Holmes, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hey, Alan, how are you?
Good, 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 good. I tell you, every time I see you, you're getting younger and younger.
Yeah, hopefully more handsome, but I don't know if that's the right trajectory either. But
That's good. All right, so tell us a little bit about Melissa. Shall we start, or should we wait another maybe couple of minutes?
Oh no, we can get started. We're on Facebook Live and we're also recording it, so anyone who joined late can view the beginning later on.
okay, well, great. Thanks a lot, Melissa. Thanks a lot, Alan, for introducing me. Hey, y'all. My name is Will Holmes. I'm the national head of our agent partnership program at Open Door. And the way I kind of joke with agents around the country is imagine taking me on every listing appointment you go to from now on, with it, and effectively acting as if a cash offer for you guys as customers. So have a presentation to go through with folks today about the Open Door program and how we work with agents. Alan and I chatted about a week and a half ago, talking about Open Door and some of the things that we're doing to partner with agents, and how effectively my job is to make you guys look like superheroes, so that you guys feel extremely comfortable about introducing a cash offer for each customer you guys sit down and talk with that. So I know there's a few folks on the line here today. Please interrupt me, ask questions. That's the way I think we learn the most through these conversations, and as opposed to me just talking at you. You guys can ask any questions about Open Door. If you guys want to ask a question about strategy and any of that stuff, I'll try and do my best to kind of help there. The majority of this presentation will just be about kind of tactical, how to execute and include Open Door, but up to you guys on kind of the direction that this all goes. Does that sound good to everyone here?
Yes,
absolutely.
All right. Does anyone have any? Okay, let's just start with here. When does anyone have any questions off the bat? Reactions. Open Door, obviously, the Phoenix area. We've been there for the longest of any market across the country. It's like this ground zero for iBuyers, OfferPad, Zillow, the like. But just any kind of questions off the top that people particularly want me to cover and answer while I go through the presentation today.
I just want to state for the record, I've worked with Open Door several times with my buyers, and it was a very smooth, professional transaction. Well, thanks a lot, Virginia. I appreciate that. I focus predominantly on the acquisition side, so acquiring homes from sellers. But I know that the first interaction that you guys have with Open Door oftentimes is on the buy side of the transaction, to buying one of our homes that are in inventory. Open Door's objective is effectively to provide liquidity to residential real estate, to allow people to move when they want, and purchase a home when they want. And so we have some tools to hopefully help you guys with talking with customers about why taking an offer from Open Door is not only in the customer's best interest, but also is helpful for you guys to kind of grow your businesses. Okay, so I'll go to the presentation, and Melissa, do you mind giving me presenter capabilities? I believe you're still on mute there, Melissa. Okay.
Yes, working on it now.
Okay, great. So anyone have any questions while we're waiting for Melissa to kind of tee that up for me? Questions, thoughts? Sergio is on mute, but I think you tried to say something.
Not yet.
Yeah. Okay, not yet. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so I'm the host now. Thanks a lot, Melissa. Appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. So again, for everybody here, oh shoot, what did I do here? Let's do here, view, present. Okay. So this is me. I'm on there on the left. We have folks that focus on kind of on the ground. Clinton Carroll is the person, particularly in the Phoenix and Tucson markets. We're going to be expanding up to northern Arizona pretty soon, but Phoenix is like kind of ground zero, obviously, for this in Tucson for the time being. So open door overview. If you guys leave this presentation with anything, it's again that someone said that they were going to.
Calendar.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Let me hear you go. Stop share. Let's see here. My bad. Sorry. Thank you for interrupting me there. We would have gone 10 minutes. So appreciate it. 1 second here. Okay. So, okay. Does everyone kind of see this from here?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Wonderful. So imagine if someone said, hey, my uncle who just sold this company was going to show up, was going to arrive at, tomorrow afternoon at Sky Harbor Airport, and he wants to get in the property management business. I think a lot of you guys would say, hey, can I go pick him up at the airport and drive him around town? And that's effectively the way I kind of think about Open Door with you guys from now on, is the idea that you guys go to every listing appointment and you've got, a guy with a lot of money in their pocket that wants to buy a lot of homes. And that every time you guys go talk with a seller, you guys can bring up Open Door as an option for them. So what is Open Door? New, simple way to sell a home without listings or showings. Tool to unlock equity in a home to purchase the next home. And then a pioneer. We're the longest serving iBuyer. So this is what the model looked like at the end of 2019. It's just growing rapidly across the country, particularly in the Phoenix, Tucson areas. And then Open Door at the end of 2019. This is where we were in terms of volume. So we were, much larger than the rest of our competitors. This is where we are across the country. I know because of how hot the Phoenix and Tucson market is right now, that a lot of people are moving from where I am, which is in Northern California. The good news for you guys is you guys no longer need to be an expert on each one of those markets. You guys just need to become an expert on Open Door and working with us as a buyer. And so if someone's relocating from, say, Minneapolis to Phoenix or Atlanta to Phoenix, all you guys need to do is understand how Open Door works, and you guys can effectively unlock that customer's home for the destination property in the Phoenix area. So you guys can hopefully double end the transaction there. And I'll talk about why that's key in a minute. And then we have very high aspirations. We hope to be, the next couple of years, be all across the country. We're in 21 markets right now, as I said, but we look to kind of expand. And so chances are, if you guys understand Open Door here, you'll be able to apply it to any customer or client that you guys have that's relocating to Phoenix. So what do we tell customers is our value proposition when you guys go and say, hey, why is an Open Door offer particularly compelling? No showings, no staging of the home, no interruptions, right? Certainty, again, we're an all cash buyer. We don't have a financing contingency. We're not going to fall through. Control, you get to pick your closing date. You can move the closing date, front, back, left, right, however times you need to coincide with that new home that they're going to. And then speed. I like to say that we're the fastest option for a consumer from going from offer request to basically through the contingency phase of anything on the market. So we'll go through that in a minute for you. The good news is that customers that use us love us. We really spend a bunch of time trying to think about customer-friendly ways to work with you guys, so that you guys again look like superheroes on behalf of your in front of your guys' clients. So what does the customer experience look like? I don't believe Open Door is a one-size-fits-all approach. You guys should think about incorporating Open Door as a tool in your toolkit that you guys can deploy however you deem fit. I do think that there are some customer profiles where Open Door is a really, really strong candidate to helping you guys out. So contingent buyers in a hot market. That's effectively what you guys are going through in Phoenix right now, right? no one's taking a contingent offer. You guys, the seller has, on the destination home that your buyer is looking for has, all the leverage in the discussions and whatnot. So not going to take a contingency. Well, with Open Door, you guys can clear up the contingency very quickly and effectively be a cash offer for that destination home by doing that. Okay. Families, this lifestyle just isn't, whether it be for COVID considerations or because you've got a couple of young kids or you've got an elderly family member, can't do a showing, can't keep a home spotlessly clean for a period of time as the home is on the market. Open Door, a great candidate for that. New construction, we partner with the home builders in basically, kind of becoming their used car lot for their dealership, where the customer effectively trades in their home to Open Door, and then they can get that brand new shiny, Pulte, Taylor Morrison, Guillen home, Fulton home. In a couple clicks of a button and make that process very seamless. So the builders really love us. Families that need a certain sale, people relocating or schools about to start, and you can't have a fall through on the home, or somebody backing out because of cold feet with the transaction. Open Door is a non-emotional buyer. You guys, that doesn't have to revolve on any financing. So you guys have a sure buyer once we go into contract. Sellers that don't have $20,000, $30,000 to get their home show list ready, deferred maintenance on the home, that want to sell their home as is, and don't have the capital to kind of get their home ready on the market. Open Door is a phenomenal option there. So again, I think the traditional process is a very good option for a lot of consumers, but there are some profiles of consumers where Open Door can deliver something for you that is unique for that customer that makes you guys look like, again, the superhero or the knight in shining armor or the Superwoman, Superman. So Alan and Melissa are going to send me over a list of you guys' email address. I'm going to set up profiles in our system. And the way that you guys are going to request an offer from here on out is you click your referral link. It then prompts a landing page that's going to look like this. You guys are going to type in your address to the home. You're going to answer, let me see here. You're going to answer 10 to 15 questions about the condition and upgrades of that home on behalf of the customer, just similar as you guys would get ready for the home to go to list on the MLS. We immediately will send you back a range instantaneously at the end of those questions, saying, hey, we believe this home is worth $248,000 to $280,000. You're going to go to that listing appointment and you're going to talk about the options for the customer. Okay, you're going to say, hey, listen, option A, we can list your home for $275,000. I think it's going to take X number of days. We're going to sell. We're going to need to do this number of showings. Blah 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 blah. Wonderful. Option B is I've got actually someone that's interested in purchasing your home. They've given me kind of indicative pricing that they think it's in the 248 to 280 range. The customer's going to, and you guys can talk about the value proposition, no showings, no staging, get to pick your closing date. The reasons why this buyer, in the case it's Open Door, would be particularly interesting for them after you guys learn about the customer. And the customer says, great, that sounds kind of interesting. What you guys will do at that point is you're going to shoot an interior assessment of the home yourself. You as the agent, you're going to do a video tour. It takes about 15, 20 minutes. Send it to Open Door. We'll then send someone out to the home the next day or within a couple of days to do an exterior assessment. So Open Door employee, not going to go inside the home. We're just doing an exterior. We knock on the door, let them know that we're there. We take a look at the HVAC, take a look at the roof, take a look at the foundation, whatnot with the home. And then within 2 days of that, we crunch the numbers. We give you guys a full net cash certain offer. Again, request the offer on Monday, go to the listing appointment on Tuesday, shoot the video assessment on Tuesday while you're at the listing appointment, submit to Open Door that night. Open Door does the external assessment on Wednesday, Thursday. And on Friday, Saturday, we send you back an itemized offer for the home. Okay. There's no more assessments. You're effectively through the contingent period. This is what the net proceeds are going to be for the seller. And we try and be extremely clear about what the costs are for the transaction. Here's what the headline price. This is what Open Door believes the value of the home is. The service fee, actually, we'll get to a slide in 1 minute. Our service fee is 5% for it's a convenience fee for the seller to sell the home. Okay. The closing costs are what the convention is in the market. And then the repairs that we expect to get that home, what I say, clean, safe, and functional, so it's ready to go back on the market once we do it. So think about Open Door is the Carvana, so to speak, for you guys to give a cash offer of that home or a car for you guys to look at. And it's very transparent, and we can get it done in 4 or 5 days if you guys are on top of it. Okay. Again, our fee, 5%. That's what we charge the customer. You guys have your listing agreement or arrangement that you've already had with the customer. That'll be on top of it. If you're charging that customer 2%, 1%, 3% to represent them in listing their home, our fee will be 5%. Your fee to the customer will pay you will be 1 or 2%, 3%. And then Open Door, we'll get to that. Actually, I'll get to that in a minute. If it's new construction, we'll let that customer go out 9 months. If it's general resale, we'll let them go out 60 days, pick their closing date. If it's new construction, we give them 2 free days of post-possession occupancy. So we'll close on the transaction on Tuesday. We'll pick up the keys from the seller on Thursday afternoon to make that moving process a lot easier and make you guys look good, a lot less stress. So again, we went over the timeline. Again, we can get this process done in 5 days through effectively a full contingency assessment process if you guys are on top of it and working to get there. So we can move very, very fast. We'll move as fast as you guys. For agents, again, like I said, I think expectation is that customers want options now when you guys go talk with them. So you have the traditional process, you've got the cash offer from Open Door that you guys talk with them about. Helps you guys make sure that that customer doesn't attach with another agent. And then what we do is we pay you guys a finder's fee. So in addition to the customer's paying us 5% for the transaction, they're paying you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever percent to represent them for a listing agreement. And then we pay you guys a 1% finder's fee on the transaction as well. So there's a way in which you guys can actually make additional money by identifying a seller and introducing them to Open Door. On top of your listing commission, we'll pay you guys a 1% referral fee. Okay. And then there's a form that our customer experience team will provide you with that transaction. And so what we do for you guys is we think we provide agents trust, growth, visibility in the transaction. And so the reason why we use that referral link is that each time you guys request an offer from Open Door, we actually populate a dashboard that each one of you have, right? So I work with agents all across the country. Some of them have 10, 15 transactions going on with Open Door at any given time, be it some are in the offer stage, some are in the contract stage, some of them have a pending closing there, some of them are in the assessment stage. It's very difficult for them to keep track of them, okay? So what we did is we provide a dashboard, basically your guys' pizza tracker to find out where every customer is in the Open Door process and helps you guys stay organized. So again, you hit that link, you request the offer on behalf of the customer, we send you guys that offer range. It then populates on this dashboard and provides you guys an update about where every customer is. It also allows you guys to also download the offer and contract from there as well. And then what we do is we provide folks like Alan a reporting dashboard to check to make sure, offer volumes, offer requests are coming in from you guys' team, number of contracts are being done, conversion rate. So we make sure that we're doing a good job on behalf of each respective organization of teaming up and partnering so that we can serve more and more customers and clients. So we kind of have some analytics there. So key takeaway for you guys, Open Door is an option, not a silver bullet, but it's a very, very good option for a lot of consumers. And I think consumers expect this to have all their options at their disposal when you guys sit down and talk with them. Open Door I think the traditional process has a difficult time guaranteeing, any of those 5 things in the process, let alone all 5 simultaneously. But Open Door's objective is to provide the most convenient, provide that seller the most control, provide you as an agent and that seller the most certainty in the transaction, the speediest transaction from offer to contract and to close, the safest transaction during COVID. Okay, we're a cash buyer. You can think about Open Door as, again, like that, very wealthy person that just sold their company that wants to get in the property management business, that goes to every listing appointment with you guys. We don't have any of the normal hurdles that a traditional process would have in that regard. And the first step is always requesting an offer, and the offer is free. Like, you guys can effectively get a free assessment for every one of you guys' customers with Open Door, right? You guys can go and get an indicative offer, a price range. You guys are going to go to a listing appointment and talk with customers about their options. Hey, this is what a cash offer would be on your home, and it should be, again, fair market value, right? Our goal is not to haircut the customer. Our goal is, we make our money in our fee. We're not trying to make money by buying the home at a discount. Okay. So with that, I know I sped through that really quickly, and open up for any questions or comments or role plays or examples that people have that they want to talk through, and how Open Door can be helpful to them. Anyone have anything?
So Will, quick question for you. Going back to the post-possession, right? You mentioned something about if it's a new build, you guys give the homeowner up to 9 months, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So obviously they have to make a decision within 21 days to sign the contract with you guys,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
now we have
Actually,
the contract.
I actually need to revise it. They have, once we send the final offer, Alan, sorry, it's 7 days now. It used to be 21. Now it's 7 days. They have a 7-day lead time to make a decision. Yep.
7-day window, right, to make a decision. They made a decision. Now they can take that offer, if you will, that purchase contract to the new home build and say, hey, we got somebody who's going to buy our house.
Yep. A non-contingent.
Okay.
I'm basically, my home is sold. Yep.
Right. What happens in the event, let's say, if the market shifts? Like it happened, for example, with COVID situation, right? I mean, there was so much uncertainty. There was so much going on, right? Is that offer going to stay as is for the next 9 months? Or are you guys going to come back and say, hey, you know what? The market is shifting. Things are happening. We got to either pull our offer back or we got to revise the price.
No, that's an offer on the house. It's a contract. That's as good as, as it's going to be. We're doing our best to stand by that. We will stand by that offer. So with, home price goes up 10% between now and the 9 months, as everything is really, really hot in Phoenix. We're going to buy the home at the agreed upon price as what we had 9 months ago. What I would tell the seller in that case is there's a decent chance that you went into contract with that home builder. The appreciation of that home builder home went up equally that amount, or maybe even more. And if you fall out of contract with Open Door, you're likely now going to fall out of the contract with that builder, because now you're a contingent and they're going to be able to take your earnest deposit, and you're going to lose that home. But that offer is a contract, and we will stand by that.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Sorry, there was someone else that had a question. I before Alan was starting. He was a woman's voice.
Well, I don't know who that was, but my concern is a conflict of interest with the 1% payback. As I think you know, Will, I don't know if you're licensed or not, but we have a fiduciary responsibility to our clients. And if we have to fully disclose that we're making money from Open Door when we present an offer from Open Door, otherwise we're really breach of our responsibility.
Sure.
So I don't know if you come across that. Do you guys have a disclosure form for that purpose, or how do you guys typically disclose that to clients, or how do you recommend that's done?
Yeah, well, I mean, we definitely, recommend and suggest you guys talk with your customer about your guys' compensation in the agreement. We put that on on the closing statement as well, that, about the 1% referral fee that comes from it. And now obviously you guys have the option to waive that if you guys feel as though that's not something you guys want to receive. But we leave that up to you guys to talk with your customers about your role in the transaction. We have some agents that end up just crediting back the seller that amount. We have some folks that end up taking that amount and talking about it with their customer. But we leave that up to you guys to kind of navigate and chat with the customer about.
Okay, Ellen, that's something we're gonna have to figure out, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Not to
it has,
liability.
well, it has to be disclosed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it has to be disclosed as far as if they want to apply that 1% towards the seller's closing costs or, towards their purchase of their next home. I mean, that's going to be up to the agent.
Yeah.
But as far as disclosing it, that we're receiving a 1% compensation from Open Door, that has to be done up front.
Yeah.
Will, I have a question. So I have like two scenarios in my head that kind of went through it. So hypothetically, I was envisioning it as in I'm walking in with an offer for this client.
Yep.
Let's just say the seller said, I want to go with this offer, but I don't want to technically list it or execute a listing agreement with you. I just want to directly work with Open Door. I mean, is that a scenario? What does that look like for the seller and the agent if they decide to go down that route?
You're saying, are you as the seller or are you the agent in that scenario that you just described?
I'm the agent and the seller that I said, okay, so Open Door is offering approximately this amount.
Yep.
And you're walking in offer for him. And then the seller says, cool, well, I want to hear a little bit more about what they are officially going to offer. So then I tell them about the video and whatnot. But they said, I don't want to execute a listing agreement with you as the listing agent. I just want to work directly with Open Door.
Sure. So two things in that scenario. If there's a scenario where you feel as though a customer is you've done a bunch of work and then to get, you've procured the lead, you've introduced Open Door, and whatnot. And then the customer says, well, yeah, but I'm not going to sign a listing agreement with you. We will do what we can to make sure that you get your referral fee for introducing that customer. Obviously you guys are going to have a listing agreement in place to be compensated by that seller in that scenario. But we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that you get at least, get made whole on the work you're doing on behalf of Open Door in introducing that customer. Obviously it's the customer's decision on what they would like to do. And so sometimes customers want to work directly with us, and we'll allow that to happen. But we're not going to do something that is going to. If you have a list, let me put it this way: if you have a listing agreement in place, that offer gets sent to you. It does not get sent to the customer. If you do not have a listing agreement in place and you tell us, hey, I'm not, I've introduced this folks to you, we will, compensate you as a procuring cause. But then we'll probably just work directly with that customer in the transaction.
Plus also, from what I remember, what I did myself was had a seller, this was years ago, I did have a listing and it wouldn't sell. It just didn't sell. Anyway, so I went onto Open Door myself and I typed in that address information. And so I went in to Open Door myself to get an offer for my seller.
Yep.
So I think that's another way to just get a procuring cause is if you don't have a listing agreement because the seller doesn't want to list with you, go into Open Door yourself and just type in all that information, the address, because then it'll be in records.
Yeah. Like the same way as like the kind of the way to think about it is like similar to how with you guys work with home builders where you guys need to be the procuring cause to go on that contract. And then you guys disclose to the customer about compensation and whatnot is a similar sort of thing with Open Door. You guys are the procuring cause for that introduction and that customer going into contract with us. We try and rightfully compensate you guys for your work and your time.
Yeah, and
The
again,
best way to really do it is have the listing agreement first, Melissa and others, is go get your listing, and then you can offer Open Door as a potential buyer, as a regular buyer. And that's really what they are, as buyers. So the best thing is secure the listing agreement first before you offer, this option.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like Will says, I mean, it's just another tool in a toolbox, right? Because you will have homeowners, you will have sellers that have kind of their own ways of thinking, and maybe they have their own situations in place. So just having that as an option available to the homeowners. Let's say, for example, you got a homeowner, you have a client, a seller that is looking to build a new home, and they have to sell their house, and they don't really want to go out there and rent another place, which they have to because they have to sell their house within 60 days. Now they can stay at their house, correct me if I'm wrong, Will, for the next 9 months, right? And then just move into their new home after 9 months.
Yeah. The whole idea there is to, yeah. The whole idea with our, like I said, you guys can move the closing date to whatever the seller wants, is to do kind of a back-to-back transaction. So, the costs the consumer has with what we've identified with the traditional processes, they're paying, a month or two of rental and storage because they can't line up their closing dates. Well, with Open Door, they just stay in their home until the minute that they need to move. They move into their destination home. So the friction cost of moving is reduced by including Open Door into the process because you have the flexible closing date, right? You have the ability to have a cash offer that doesn't have any financing. So you know that deal is not going to fall through. You have the ability to sell the home without having to worry about safety considerations or disruptions with showings and staging. The whole idea is to build around a value proposition for the consumer that the traditional process isn't able to provide them. And so that's why kind of the product with Open Door is to kind of give you guys as much flexibility and be able to provide like the best level of service so your customer doesn't have to really make trade-offs. They can just say, okay, I want to do this and this and this. If the new construction is out 2 weeks because of a delay, well, all it is you just call Open Door and say, hey, we need to move my closing on the sale back 2 weeks. Okay. And then you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to live with in-laws, or I've got to figure out the U-Haul storage lapses on at the end of the month, and then I need to have 2 additional weeks on top of it. And next thing you know, you're stressed and everyone else is stressed and whatever. The idea is just like you've got a buyer who's just extremely flexible on the other end of the other side of the table.
Yeah. We got a question for Mavu. Mavu asks, my question is, can I bring a buyer later for that same property?
So yeah. I mean, at some point that home is going to go back onto the market, right? We're going to buy the home and we're going to do whatever renovations that we need to do to get that home list ready. And then you can bring a buyer for that property once we own it. But again, it's like just the flip side. And I think, like I said, for a lot of agents, the first interaction with Open Door is actually on the buy side of the transaction as opposed to the sell side of the transaction. But yeah, like we buy the home. We're not buying the home to provide rentals. We're not providing the home to do a hold period. Our goal is to provide liquidity, to try and be the place that people come to sell their home for fair market value and buy a home for fair market value. And we just charge the convenience fee in the middle of it, that 5% proxy, as what we operate on. My salary is out of that 5%. Our marketing is out of that 5%. Our maintenance, HOA fees, taxes all come out of that 5%. And so yeah, Mavu, yeah, definitely. If you've got a seller in January that brings us a home and then that home goes back on the market in April, and you bring a buyer, phenomenal. Is there a way to get a list of homes that Open Door? Yes, this is Virginia, this is the literally $1 million question with inventory right now, right? You guys are saying, okay, I know like there's such an inventory shortage. I don't know, Alan, I think you were telling me recently about just, was it like 4,000 or 5,000 homes that were on the market in Maricopa County, something like that, something nuts, something crazy, right? Things are people are doing open houses, and all of a sudden you have 15 offers on the home and whatever. And you know that a place like Open Door, we're buying a bunch of homes. We're buying, 200-300 homes a month at scale back in 2019 in a given market. We obviously those homes are going to come on the market at a given time. I don't have the mechanics on like when the timing of those all are, but obviously if we work closely with one another and we're working a number of different transactions, I can like figure out a way to kind of get you an idea, so that when that home does hit the market, you guys are properly positioned, so that if that thing is going to go quickly, you guys are there. It's just it's a crazy market right now, right? Like everyone kind of doing it. But I definitely understand your question, Virginia, and I very sympathetic.
We used to see something like comments coming soon from Open Door, like maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
Are you still guys doing that or no?
Yeah, but so I think with COVID, we're not doing it right now because for COVID, that's like kind of like the home is a renovation, right? Like we're renovating the home. It's about to come back onto the market, whatever. And what we're having with situation is like, we're trying to have a situation now where like nobody's in the home at the same time. And those coming soons, there was like someone that was just, the home was about to go onto the listing to be listed. And so we were having very difficulty. There's a lot of, obviously, you think operational complexity and logistics that go into signs in yards and signs coming out and things going on the website and things coming out. But like we've just tried to kind of make it really simple, which is just like acquiring the home, renovate the home, list the home. Now, obviously, I know agents want to get positioned so that when that home does come back onto the market, that you're there because your buyers are having a very difficulty identifying a home. But it's something, Virginia, that I would love to kind of think through and ways to kind of improve, because I know that that's certainly a demand that a lot of agents have, but just not any homes on the market right now.
Hey, Will, I got another question for you. I'm assuming you guys take the co-broke, right? If we have a listing.
Yep. If you guys have if the home is listed, our fee will be 5%. The co-broke will be 3%, 2%, whatever you guys have on there. And then so the cost to transact for that seller will be your guys' listing agreement fee. We'll take the co-broke. We'll credit that against our fee. So like if it's a 3% co-broke, the fee to the customer will be 2%, but we'll collect the 3% of the buyer broker commission. So it's not on top of the 5%. It's like a credit against that 5%. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, that's good. And the other question I had was the repair cost you have listed in this model here is a little over 3%. Do you have an average like cost of repairs that you guys have for properties?
Yeah, I mean, like this is a example of 3% is a pretty high repair example. It depends on fluctuation, whatever. Like I'd say 1% to 2% is kind of the range I would think about. Again, our objective here is to bring that home to what we call clean, safe, and functional. We're not going to go live in the home. We're not getting this home for a renter that's going, with us. So, and we also know that when the buyer goes to buy the home from us, they're going to ask for some concessions themselves. So our objective here is to try and bring the home to clean, safe, and functional. And so our repair ask should be less than what that seller needs to do on the traditional market. Because I don't really care if the paint is eggshell or off-white or white. To me, that's not a hurdle. What I do care about is if the HVAC is not working or the roof isn't working or whatnot. So that's like our threshold for what a repair should be better than the traditional market, because we're again not trying to live in it. We're just trying to provide it so the home is clean, safe, and functional for the resale.
Got it. Thanks. Then I have one more question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
There are a lot of iBuyers out there. What makes you guys? I know you're bigger and first. but why
Yeah.
not OfferPay? Why not Zillow? Why not Old Bricks? I think they're still around, but
You're
all the
baiting
other-
me. You're baiting me into a negative campaign, and I don't want to do that. Well, here's what I'll tell you. A couple things. First of all, there are several. There's more iBuyers out there than even the ones you just listed right there. I want the customer to make the best decision and do what's right for them. Okay. And Dan, you asked a question a bit earlier that was actually kind of about conflicts of interest and whatnot. Open Door, I'm very confident in saying we'll give the best net proceeds for the customer. Okay. We will give the best offer available to that customer. When you take out headline price, fees associated with it, repairs, cash in pocket. At the end of the transaction, they will have, I'm very confident that the vast majority of the time, Open Door will do that. Okay. So that's just on the cost side of things. Okay. Two, because we've been doing it for longer, it's not just a case of like we've been doing it for 5 years. We've stubbed our toe. We've literally had, quote unquote, the door slammed in our face enough times to realize the mistakes that need to be made. And so our customer experience is just more mature. Our recognition of valuation is more mature. Our repair scopes are more mature. And so it's not a question of like, size. Like obviously Open Door is the behemoth in terms of volume, but it's the inputs that go into that I think are the big differentiators. And then I also would just say is Open Door's model, every iBuyer has a different model. Some of them are trying to do buy homes and then do some additional repairs and renovations to do some value add, kind of bringing kind of technology to the traditional flipping. That's not Open Door's model. Our model is not to put an offer in front of a customer in order to like get them interested and then give that lead to an agent so that the agent can work the transaction, not in the interest of like acquiring the house. Open Door's business model is to pay fair market value of the home, be transparent about the costs associated with it, give a phenomenally delightful customer experience in the transaction, and then resell that home again, fair market value with a delightful experience. And so we want to be a liquidity provider or market maker, and that's our business model. So hopefully I answered that with the deftness without being direct about any of those things, but kind of talk through why I think Open Door is a pretty special spot.
you were appropriately delicate, but I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Thanks for the answer.
Yeah. Anyone else have questions? This sounds too good to be true. Easy. Every listing appointment, you show up and there's a cash offer for every one of your guys' customers. Okay. Sergio's over there going, I don't know. But again, proof is in the pudding. Time will tell. Appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys and to help serve customers. And again, my job is to try and make you look as good as possible. And I think showing up with a cash offer for a customer that's fair market value is a great place to start to kind of build up the trust and rapport with them, so they know that you're acting in their best interest.
Very cool.
Yeah, just for the agents
Right,
listening, we're going to have to work on a disclosure for clients so they understand the 1% and that they understand we're not actually working for Open Door and we're not breaching our fiduciary responsibilities to them when we have a listing. So we'll draw something up just so it's clear for everybody and clear for our clients so nobody loses their license.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much, Will. Appreciate your
Thanks a lot,
sharing
Al.
your company.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Melissa, you're going to send me the list of folks, and I'll send out everybody kind of the referral links and dashboards so that they can all get all signed up. So look for that over the next kind of day or two. We'll all send out an email with this presentation and the follow-up to get you guys' referral links. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, wonderful. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.